All right. And I think that pretty much gets everybody we need up on stage, if I'm not mistaken, Coop.
I'm not sure. I see Rekt Dogs down as listener. I'm not sure if I'm getting rugged.
It might just be delayed. It says on my end, just connecting, so should be any moment now.
Cool, cool. As long as that's key, then I think we're good.
All right, we'll just wait to make sure that he's not getting rugged, and then we'll get this started. But I guess we can start with a little bit of a GM for everybody. Looks like we got quite a few people in here listening, which is always good. So GM or GN, whatever time it might be. Who knows? It might be GM on the exact opposite side of the spectrum, like you, Coop.
Yeah.
But I just thought I would say a little hello first because I know that I'm not a new face, but I'm a little bit of a new face up here co-hosting. So just wanted to say hello to everyone. I am Guru, so I work quite closely with Coop on the Last Remain side. I'll be filling in for Jeff today, and I'm super excited. We're going to see if we can get Rekt Dogs back up. He requested one more time here. But I do want to make sure that everybody knows, and Coop, just let me know if I don't get this correct, but I do know we have some special questions. We have a potential incentive for questions right now. So we have a thread, and we want people to be commenting with really good questions. So we do want to make sure that we're taking your questions. After we get over some of the agenda here, we're going to open up conversation. So just let me know exactly where we're going to be putting those, Coop, and then we'll make sure that everybody is putting questions into the thread.
Yep, just add them into the thread, and we'll talk about the prize as we keep rolling.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, now we have Rekt up here, GM Rekt or GN, whatever time of day it might be for you. It's nice to have you up here. I believe it's Tony. Are you the one on the account right now?
Hey guys, yes, I'm Tony.
Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. I'm really excited to chat with you. And I mean, what a great way to start this off. Now that you're up here, I actually thought just because this is going to be a partnered space between us. Why don't you just talk a little bit about Rekt Dogs and maybe just give us a quick introduction? I can already see a lot of similarities to some pretty high quality PFPs that I'm excited to see in the space, but just give us a quick breakdown.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm actually relatively new to the crypto space and joined the team halfway. But it has been an exciting few months, seeing lots and lots of things happening. One of them is that we've recently moved to Polygon, and it's been delightful. Everybody I've met so far has been nice and friendly. The community vibe here is quite positive. So
Oh shit.
the experience here has been quite good so far. So in terms of the project, we are a PFP collection in the size of 10K.
ที่รักลงเลขกันวะ
Hello?
Sorry, crypto fighters, if you could just mute your mic. Don't mind. Anyways, Rekt, keep
Yeah.
going, man.
And yeah, we are a PFP collection in the size of 10K. The gamification aspect of our PFPs is a big part of our plan. For example, we'll have 100 gold coins named Aureas, random drop. Holders will find out in 24 hours after the NFTs are revealed. They could use Aureas to redeem a tailor-made one-off, so their PFPs can be, a unique representation of themselves. But yeah, no illegal or offensive content, of course. Another thing is that the swappable traits will have their own marketplace that we're going to build. People can design, trade, or even burn trades as they wish. There will also be collaboration with artists to create some more cool traits as well. And a little bit about the team, I guess. The team comes with quite a strong background in design. I'm actually the only one in team who hasn't undergo a design program. So yeah, and the team is introverted in personality. We do express ourselves through our design a lot. So one of the best ways to know about us is actually to have a closer look at what we publish. Yeah, and we're launching on Polygon with Magic Eden tomorrow at 2:45 p.m. UTC.
Exciting, very exciting. So I love the art style, and I can definitely tell that there's a lot of quality in it. Maybe just before we jump forward, I'm just curious, what is some of the like strongest inspiration that you know of for Rekt Dogs? I'd really like to hear because I feel like it looks really nice, but I'd like to know, where's the inspiration come from?
Oh, the inspiration comes from um, all the good projects that come before us, and we kind of take our reference and through design we make it our own. That kind of that was this pathway, yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And speaking of working with a lot of great projects and taking inspiration from great projects, Coop, this is your time to shine because I want to do a little bit of an intro on Earn Alliance. I know obviously everybody here is probably quite familiar, but it has been a little while since we've done a space. So why don't you freshen us up on what Earn Alliance is doing? Because I know that you guys, well, we are working with a lot of great projects as well.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll make it quick. So Earn Alliance is the aggregator of aggregators for Web3 games. What that means is we go out and we take projects that we find that are building in the Web3 game space and we list them on our game directory. So we can think of that as like a Netflix for games. You can see a nice directory, be able to like mouse over and be able to see a bunch of custom made content, videos, and screenshots and descriptions and hand curated. It's a first person shooter, MMO, zombie survival. So we really curate the categories and everything that's going on with the games. And then the most recent thing that we released is called The Wall, temporary name, where we're aggregating Twitter messages and Discord announcements across 800 games. And soon that's going to be 2,000 by the end of this quarter, so around April 1st. So yeah, we're just trying to make it easy to find great games in the space. And yeah, that's about it. A lot of other good stuff coming, but we'll hop over to the rest of the agenda.
Sounds good. Coop, if there is one thing I know you are good at, besides just making epic speeches, it's being concise. Very well done. So let's jump into another new face that I've just met today, but I'm really excited to hear from you because I know a lot about the platform that you're working with. So Johnny, first off, pleasure to meet you. And I know it was a little tough to get you up on here. I know Twitter is being kind of weird. I felt like it was trying to rug you, but it's a pleasure to have you up here, and maybe we'll jump into you next. Give us a small little intro into Magic Eden, as well as yourself and what you do there.
Yeah, Twitter, the beings that be at Twitter were definitely trying to hold us back, but we're here now. We made it, so it's all that matters. Yeah, so I'm Johnny. Work at Magic Eden on the Polygon Launchpad marketing team. So obviously, we firmly believe in gaming, and additionally to that, promoting projects in a multi-chain living that's really going to be the future of Web3. So where I come in to be and what I do is projects that want to launch through Magic Eden. I assist in their overall marketing efforts and getting them the proper exposure and helping where I can there to give them the best recipe for success. Been building on Polygon for the last 2.5 years, and recently switched to the Magic Eden role to help there on the Polygon perspective.
Love it. Love it. And I know I am very, very bullish on the Polygon ecosystem, so I love to hear that. And I remember I saw the announcement initially when you guys had mentioned about that. Well, Magic Eden had mentioned about the support, and it made me extra bullish. So very, very good. And also a pleasure to have you here. So one other thing I just want to mention while we're at this point in time, just letting everybody know, we do have a special POAP going through. Coop, if there's anything that maybe I don't catch in this, you can mention it. But I just want to mention one more time before we jump into it, there is a POAP for this space, and it gives you a chance to get an airdrop. So just remember that, guys. But that all being said, let's jump into our final guest up here, and maybe Ren. I don't know if your mic is having some muting issues, but just unmute and you'll be able to talk here. But I'd really like to hear a little bit more about you and Crypto Fighters, if you could tell us a little bit. I know you were having some issues initially, but just the unmute button, I think if you're on your phone, it should be on the bottom left. You can click it, and it'll allow you to speak. Let me see if I can do it here. No, I cannot.
Well, we can come back for intros as we get this going.
Sounds good to me. And then just once again here, just letting everybody know, remember the POAP. But I think now we'll just jump through into another really important update because, Ren, I see your message, by the way. You shouldn't have to send a request to speak. It should just be in the bottom left. You should be able to just unmute there. You'll have a chance. But just let us know. Let us know if you're having any issues, and we'll work that out. Maybe we'll remove you and bring you back in. But while we're doing that, Coop, why don't we talk a little bit about what's been happening? Because as I said earlier, it's been a little while since we've had a space. I've been missing you guys. So I think one of the best ways to jump into this next part is let's just talk about what's been happening. Coop, what has been happening with Earn Alliance in the last month? I know there's been a lot, but give us a bit of a breakdown, some of the badges, etc., things that are going on, and then we'll jump into the next bit from there.
Yeah, so, the focus here today, we're going to be talking about the NFT Launch Pads, and I'm so stoked to, John, you're here. I was like, when I bumped into Rekt and I heard you're going to potentially come, I was like, we got to bring Magic Eden on here. We definitely need to all be talking about NFT launches, and it's a new environment, and I definitely wanted to share some open, transparent information about how we're doing, and we did first a Christmas campaign with about 8 partners and games where we had 24 hours to be able to mint a cool 2.5D animated badge on Earn Alliance. And we were able to push between 25,000 to 35,000 users to mint those badges amongst our communities. We had a little over 80,000 users sign up on Earn Alliance within the first week, which was awesome. And in order to do that, that all required you to come and join our Discord. So we had the whole social verification, join our Discord in order to mint, and it was awesome. So then we came in bullish. We're like, yo, let's do this again in Chinese New Year. And when that happened, we're like, we're not going to do joining Discord this time. We're going to do follow on Twitter. And when you push tens of thousands of people to automatically follow on Twitter because we're trying to use the APIs that make things convenient, yeah, they don't like that. And we essentially only got an average of 5,000 to 7,000 mints per day. So it kind of hurt, but we learned from it, and we're sorry, Twitter. We won't do that again. We promise. So don't ban us from your APIs anymore. So just wanted to share that, as kind of a slowdown from our growth and what happened in the last 60 days with the Chinese New Year's or the Lunar New Year's campaign. Moving forward, we're essentially refactoring our systems underneath the hood so we can have free, awesome mints.
Love it. And yeah, I think even before Elon took over, Twitter was a little finicky, but now it's Twitter is really becoming a bit of a beast. You almost got to learn how to retame it again. That's how I'm feeling, at least. It's a completely different environment out here. And you mentioned something in there, Coop, talking about Rekt Dogs. I mean, I think that it's a amazing thing to bring up some friends and family, especially when they're doing a really awesome project like this. But let's jump into Rekt Dogs. But first things first, I just want to remind everybody here, don't forget about the question thread. Remember, we're going to be having some incentives associated with that. You could get a free airdrop. It could be a Rekt Dog. You never know what it's going to be, but I can guarantee you it's going to be spicy. Just remember to put the questions in the thread. So it's the thread for the space. You'll be able to see it. There is a comment thread. Go and put some questions in there, not only just to, be entered into the giveaway, but also to get some good questions up there. You've got all of these really experienced people up here that are going to be chatting about all the questions you put in there. So have your questions answered. You never know what kind of info will come from it. But that all being said, let's jump back into this. So, Coop, talking about Rekt Dogs, I really want to know, what inspired the Rekt Dogs partnership? Why are we, after a month, jumping up here, got Rekt Dogs up on stage, as well as Magic Eden? What was the inspiration for this? What's the purpose behind this?
It's simple. There's a friend of ours, Dee, that's part of the group, and she mentioned there's this mint happening on Friday, and I was like, we got to get involved as little as possible. It starts with the Twitter space, and that's it. I think it's really important that we're around, especially in the bear market, to just let's host together, let's share the love, cross-communicate, cross-pollinate, co-market, do whatever we can to kind of share the love here. And that's as simple as it is. So, and I'm also, like you said, bullish on Magic Eden's ecosystem. I love the Polygon announcement. I love, the upcoming NFT launches that are happening. Definitely check those things out. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure we can kind of dip our toes into this space. And then, of course, reward our allies. So we're always looking for great ways for our community to come in. And Rekt Dogs offered up some whitelists, and we're like, yeah. So let's do it.
Love it, love it. And it sounds like, speaking of Magic Eden, we got Johnny wanting to say something. Jump in there, Johnny. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say something in regards to the whole entire Twitter thing. So right now we're sitting at 520 people in the space, which is absolutely stellar. But look at the retweet ratio, right? And I don't know about you all, but I'm a big ratio master. I love a ratio. And we got 20 retweets. So everybody go to that bottom right of the space, hit the retweet bags, go ahead and pump it up, get more visibility on this. We got some amazing people on this panel, tons of insights, Alliance, Rekt Dogs, crypto fighters. Like, it doesn't get better than this. So everybody join on in, go ahead and share it to your friends, and let's get as much visibility here as possible. That's all I had to say, guys.
Damn, all right. I feel like Johnny
Well
will be
said.
swapping places next time because that was absolutely perfect. Thank you, sir. But speaking of the people we have up on stage, I do want to, before we jump into the next bit, just double back and give crypto fighters a chance to come and chat really quick and do a quick intro before we jump into the next section, because I know that we missed you the first time. So if you want, Ryan, is your mic working now? Are you able to speak? Hey,
Yeah.
there you go. Perfect. Here,
Here.
I
I'm
didn't want to
here. I
leave
got
you.
it.
Didn't want to leave you hanging. All right. Here, you
I
got
thought
two
you guys are
minutes.
forgetting.
Nah,
I
I'll
thought you
never
guys
forget
are
about you.
forgetting me. All right. I'm finally here. I just bumped my hips into the space, and thanks for the warm welcoming. Crypto Fighter. Actually, like we are game maker, so we are basically built the game on the web trees, and we are aiming to go to the play to earn that we are trying to restructuring the model up again, because now everyone is like no play to earn, no play to earn. Like everyone is scaring their ass out. So we are not, and we believe that the model is like it's still. We just like need to pick it up and fix some part of it. Uh, so as a research, we saw that it's like people are like building the card game, and the card game is like a very successful model from that, and we make it more interesting. We combine with the graphics, we combine with the things, and make us crypto fighters. And also, we want to bring back some like nostalgia feeling on the 90s centuries, that we bring our to the characters that we crafted with the hand. We make it with the slow speed camera, so people it will support people with the older age. I would say it's like, because our target is like 25 up to 40 plus, and then people will get like easily dizzying from the very fast motion, right? It will be like swaying all wrong. So that's why we come up with this kind of idea, and we make sure that it's all linked together, and that is Crypto Fighter.
Nice, nice. I took a look at the art, and I got to say, the one thing that stood out to me is the really nice pixel art aspect of it. I'm a huge, huge fan of pixel art. I know actually my partner is a really passionate pixel artist as well, so it very much stood out to me. So it's great. It's great to hear. And my career started in play to earn, so I know all of the sentiment that focuses around it. I hope you guys have a good spin on the model, because I do think there are people out there that don't want it to die. They just realize that it's not in a position where it is healthy. So wishing you guys the best of luck, and it's a pleasure to have you up here on stage. But without further ado, let's jump into the next bit here. So, Coop, I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to bring up about Earn. Maybe we can just talk a little bit about what's coming, and then let's jump into Rekt Dogs, because I want to hear a little bit more from Tony and figure out what we're working with here.
Yeah, I'll say just one last point is, I guess what you'll be seeing next is that we're going to have 2,000 games aggregated by April 1st, like I was saying. And on the wall, you'll be able to see all those games in their Twitter spaces and Discord stages coming up next. So if you ever have a hard time finding Twitter spaces or Discord spaces in the Web3 game industry, Earn Alliance is going to be able to make it easy for y'all. So that's about it. I'd love to hear more on Rekt Dogs, man. Let's go on.
Let's do it. But before we do that, I'm going to take a page out of my man Johnny's book here and just remind everybody that we are still slacking on the retweets for the space. Let's get that hype going. Then let's get those questions into the threads, because we are getting close to the open conversation point where we're going to be touching on some of those questions. So you know what they say, it's now or never. If you got some spicy questions up there, make sure you throw them up, and we're going to be addressing them. But now let's get into Rekt Dogs. So Tony, I know I had already asked you a little bit about what inspired the art in the collection, but I think more than anything, I'm a person that really loves the purpose, that underlying drive behind a reason, a vision, a project. So I want to double back on that and just hear a little bit more about Rekt Dogs, but I want to know what fundamentally inspired even the purpose for this. Maybe a little bit more from like the impact that you guys are trying to have, or kind of the space, the hole in the space that you're trying to fill with Rekt Dogs. What really inspired Rekt Dogs in general? Like why did it come to be?
Right. Um, so to answer that, we started off building about 8 months ago. We named our project Rekt Dogs because the word wrecked was seen as a representation of how things have been going downhill ever since the pandemic, right? People have suffered. Almost everybody took a hit in one way or another. So we use the word wrecked to capture that particular state of emotion when our project was conceived. I'm sure many of you guys have seen our graphics before, and yeah, that's a reflection of the idea. As for the dogs, we simply love dogs. I have one of my own. I consider him one of my best friends. He's with me through the good times and the tough times. So yeah, and the level of intimacy that dogs have with us humans, with our families, is also quite unique when you think about all the animals that surround us. So we hope that the image of a dog that has a persona can also give the impression that we will be here for better or for worse. So yeah, that's our inspiration, and that's how we started building this 10K collection.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. I love the aspect around dogs too, because I'm a huge dog person, and I've always had a furry companion along with me in life. So I think that's amazing.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, I recently got a new dog a few months ago because I've always had a furry companion as well. And there's just something about coming home, and no matter how wrecked or positive your day is, that little buddy of yours is ready to give you a hug or a lick. And I don't know, man. I feel like dogs just have that like high EQ or something. But when I'm feeling down, he's just all over me.
That's exactly how it goes, Coop. I love it. So speaking of which, I think that dogs give you the absolute best feeling of community, of love, family. So maybe let's talk a little bit about what you got going on with the Rekt Dogs community here. Where's it at right now? Like, what's the community like? Any highlights or any big pieces of feedback that you guys are working with in the community? I'd really like to hear a little bit more about the state of the community. From you, Tony, from Rekt Dogs specifically.
Hello?
Hello?
We hear you now.
We hear you.
Yeah. And the move to Polygon isn't easy. So since we announced our plan with Polygon and Magic Eden, the time frame for those who aren't familiar with the ecosystem, to get their way around, it's a bit tight. And this goes not only for them but for us too. So currently, we are addressing issues like resubmission of the wallets, getting people to understand Polygon, our mint strategy, etc. Um, and some people are resistant to such a move, and we try to show them what we're doing to help them to get over that, what you call it, mental barrier, or to move with us. So basically, the things we're addressing right now is pretty much all about working with the details with the community regarding our launch in the new ecosystem.
Yeah, I could only imagine. Actually, that is one of the biggest things that came to mind when you had mentioned that you're doing the swap over to Polygon. Is that I imagine a lot of people who are looking at the project or been with the project because you guys have been building for about 8 months. At this point in time, they're probably trying to catch up with it, maybe doing some swaps over, having to use a bridge. It really just depends, right? So, but I think it is also a very good opportunity to help people level up their Web3 knowledge. Because I know that one of the things a lot of people who come into Web3, especially in the NFT space, are really famous for, it's becoming chain exclusive, right? A lot of people will only interact on a single chain. And in my personal opinion, even if there are a lot of chains out there that might not be as good or as effective to solve the problem that a project's looking to do, I still think it's important to be relatively chain agnostic, because there is a very big world out there that we're all a part of. And it's a lot bigger when you finally realize that there's more than just your one chain that you exist on. So I love to see that. Hopefully it ends up pushing a few people to be a bit more chain agnostic and explore the big world that's out there. So shout out to you guys. But Coop, I just wanted to mention really quick here. I know when it comes to the POAP, I think we're getting pretty close to the time. Maybe just let me know once we get to that time. Or I mean, if Ryan or Jose, you guys want to handle it, just let me know, because I know the POAP situation gets set up around 30 minutes. So just feel free to jump in and make sure that we handle that correctly, because I've never handled one of the POAPs here. And then I think, oh, go ahead, Coop.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we'll announce it after the next question, I think.
Perfect. Okay. Speaking of questions, just want to let you guys know we are getting close to the end of the questions. So if you have not yet, make sure that you click on if you're on your phone, assuming you're all on your phone, click on the little comment section in the bottom of the space and add your question to the thread. Once again, these questions are going to be chosen at the end of the space here, and we will be having some incentives, some prizes for the best questions out there. So make sure you guys are supposed to throw your questions into that thread if you want to qualify. And again, even beyond the qualify for the giveaway, just a good opportunity for us to answer some questions. So don't hesitate. And while you're there, make sure that you like and retweet the space. It's just 2 extra clicks. It does us a lot of good, and you never know what's going to happen, right? So I think the more people we have in here, the better the questions, the more info we're going to drop. So just wanted to remind everybody about that. But yeah, I think at this point in time, really, I just want to pretty much jump into one final topic here. Unfortunately, it looks like Johnny got rugged out of the Twitter space, because I wanted to throw it to him. I wanted to hear a little bit more about Magic Eden. But I think if Magic Eden's not around, one of the things that I would like to jump into, maybe let's jump over to Ren and Crypto Fighters again. Ren, you had mentioned, and this was something that was on my mind here, you had mentioned about the broken play to earn system and how you guys are addressing it and trying to fix it. I don't know if you can, but if you can, do you want to share a little bit more information on that? Maybe some of the things that you guys saw were broken and potentially some of the ways you're looking to fix it?
Sure. Actually, like, what we have seen is like, if you guys know, like the life cycles of the NFT game right now, it's just guess like how many days or how many months. If you search it up now, and the answer will be like from 1 week to 5 weeks, so it's like pretty short. And well, for us, that is like very crucial, and we trying to solve by that. We address the problem, and we see that it's because the game is not compatible with the platform, with a blockchain, and we found that the card game is the most suitable game genre. So we choose, as you can see, like the example they out there, like Axis and other good projects that are still alive, and they hit on the top of the coin marketplace, and they're all proof that they are the card game. And then we got the idea from that. Just but we want to make it more fun, because like the card game is like kind of boring as well, and that is like another weakness that we can spot it out. That's why we become Crypto Fighter right now.
Okay, I like it. I definitely like it. I think, yeah, when it comes to card games like TCGs, they've just been notorious for the system. I've only played a few, but I mean, even in my Hearthstone days, I know that there was a lot of parallels that I felt were very Web3 applicable. So I can definitely agree that card games work. And as somebody who played Axie from a very, very early on time, I can definitely see that a lot of people will look to Axie, some of their solution, or some of their wins as well as some of their losses, to really just put play to earn up on a pedestal. So I think really with this being said, we're getting to that halfway point. I don't really have a whole lot for exact questions coming from me. It's been absolute pleasure hearing from all of you guys. Unfortunately, it looks like Johnny got rugged, but hey, I'll hit him up in the DMs and I'll get some questions and throw them on Twitter. Maybe get Coop to come and jump in, and we'll have our own little thread of questions on Web3 NFTs and maybe a bit of gaming. So we'll make sure that we keep you guys updated. But let's jump into the next section. So I think this section is going to be the one that is really, really interesting for us, because this is when let's start to talk a little bit more about the state of NFT launches. NFT is just in this market. It's a really, really unique market right now. We're kind of past that hyper capitulation phase that we went through at the beginning part of this year, which I'll be honest, if you guys survived through that, hats off. That was crazy. I hope you guys have given yourselves a pat on the back, maybe had a buddy to give you a hug for making it through, because if you are still here, you are a G, and I just want to let you know. But let's jump into maybe the current state of it. And for this, I do want to just let everybody know, final call here for the questions. Once again, in the bottom of the space here, click on the comments, throw your question into that thread. We will be closing that up very soon. So if you guys haven't put your question in there, put it in there. Once again, we will be doing a giveaway. So if you have a really good question on there, you can qualify for the giveaway. And I believe that they have to do with maybe some Rekt Dog whitelists. But again, I just think it's always worth it. We can get the information back to you as well. So just one final call, letting you guys know. Now, that being said, let's get on to the questions here. Let me just take a quick look. Oh, wow, we got so many good questions here. Absolutely love it. Okay, I want to start with Coop, because Coop, I know there's a lot of questions here for Earn Alliance, so I just want to take a quick look and see what we got going for Earn Alliance. Ooh, this is a really good one, and this is one I like. I think I've even hit you with this question before, Coop. So I want to know, will there be any plans in the future for gamers to communicate and interact with each other on the Earn Alliance platform, on the website itself, like the web app? Do you have any plans for that?
We have been getting a lot of requests around for this, and we're not exactly there on wanting to create a social platform where people are interacting with each other. We actually don't even want people to post yet. And this is really a social experiment of what could we do to really highlight games and what they are providing in terms of content together. So the first thing that you would, communicate and interact with each other will be coming out very soon is liking posts. And you can imagine if you play like League of Legends, you got your kind of iron, rank, and you can go all the way up to gold and diamond and legendary and all these things. I think maybe it's not legendary; it's like grandmaster, and etc. So, and these posts will get ranked based off of the community liking them. So if you like and back your favorite projects and you like different posts and content that you like seeing, together you can essentially rank the best posts, and they're going to look epic. They're going to be shiny. A post might fly on your screen and it's like on fire. It's going to be pretty cool. So that's going to be the first interaction of like together. You guys are going to be liking things, but that's the only way that you can communicate in terms of like showing each other what you guys like. There's been requests for reviews and other things, but right now that's the first stage and we're listening. So keep shooting that at us. And if that's what the community wants, we will build it.
That's what I love to hear. I absolutely love to hear it. And speaking of the community, just want to let everybody know, because I think we're at that point now. Everybody who has been listening, just know, I believe that you're able to actually claim the POAP now. So if you haven't seen, just above, there's going to be a highlighted tweet up here or a pinned tweet. Go to the Galaxy link that is on there for giving away the one free Rekt Dog NFT. So make sure you click on that, go and claim your POAP, because you're going to need that POAP to qualify. So go up there and make sure that you've clicked it. If you've been listening to the space, you are now eligible to do it. So just wanted to remind everybody who is listening right now, you're able to click on that tweet. Once again, go to the Galaxy link that's on there, claim the POAP, and you will be eligible for the free Rekt Dog NFT. Yes, I said free. This isn't just a whitelist. This is a free Rekt Dog NFT. But all right, let's jump into another one here. Speaking of Rekt Dog, actually, I would really like to hear from you, because we got a really good question on here as well. Tony, how did the team come up with the 19.99 Matic price points? And are there like any other price points among the group? Like where did this come from? Because I'd really like to know a little bit more about how you guys determine that. I know Polygon's a unique ecosystem, so where did that come from?
Yeah. So we have compared different markets and new launches And 1999 Matic is just around 1 Sol or 2 Aptos. Our rationale being first, relatively cheaper than comparable projects on Solana and ETH, could draw in more people, and that's what because the Polygon PFP scene is just starting, and we need to draw more people in. So in that sense, it is one of our considerations of the price, but it's also at a price point where you can sort of discourage some flippers and paper hands. And there are many projects that went with a higher mint price, but yeah, that's the main reasons why we decided to go with 1999 for whitelist.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I do agree. I think, especially in this market, one of the things that we saw being a really big aspect of the market for a little while was actually the free mints. So I know now, though, things have changed with Blur coming up and making such a big impact on the space, and even forcing OpenSea to start working around with their royalties, so that we could open up the playing field a little bit to be more competitive. So one of the things that I actually want to bring up here, and I see that Ren, you have your hand up, so maybe we'll go to you first and get your thoughts, is on the idea of free mints versus paid mints in today's market. So Ren, I know you had something to say. You're welcome to say it, but then I'd also like to get your thoughts on free mints versus paid mints right now. Where's your thoughts on for that?
All right. Actually, I will raise my hand for the pricing strategies that Rek was told about. Is like I just want to add it. Actually, as a marketer, we have a lot of consideration when we come to the pricing decision. I think it's just fall onto 3 or 4 elements that I will be saying on this. So the first one probably could be the product itself, the product characteristic. That is the quality of product, it's the effort that the project put onto it. And also this the second element would be the market condition, whether it's going to be bull or bear, or in a war horse stage. And the third, I think it's the competitors in the industry is who they are, how much do they sell, and how compare them with yours, and then how do you differentiate your product from them. And I think the last one would be your customer itself, who they are, their background, their demographics. And these are the things that we make it up for the consideration, and we come up with the final price. And I think Rekt Dog did quite a great job on that, and I really love to see how they go. uh, and you asked me about the free mints and the paid, right? That for us, we do the hybrid, but I think the model doesn't really matter. It's just how you collect the money, whether you collect the money from your user first, or you just collect it later on. But it's still you still have to collect your money unless it's not a business model. And then for collect the money first, is the model similar to the premium game, when you sell a premium game for model that you'll complete set of the game, and then you sell to your customer just one time payment. And that is the good point is you have to guarantee the income where the process is end there. You don't have to keep on the maintenance, and you keep on the development on that you have promised your customer. But from another wheel, that the free mint version that we also had it, the sweet point is that you're having more market, it's more mass, because it's welcoming, it's attracting more people to your product, to your platform, and then you can sell the stuff easier, because it's mass, you already attract a lot of people. If comparing to the game, then you will see a lot of beautification item, a lot of advertised fees. And just for example, I think that's probably for me.
Nice. Lots and lots of good insight on that one. I really appreciate that, Rand. And I agree with you. I think that there's this model that was almost like a pre-Web 2 game distribution model that a lot of people were using in the NFT space. And then it started to change and we started to innovate in regards to how, because again, we do need to create revenue, right? Like you're not going to be able to run a business without revenue. So things started to change and now we're seeing the market shift again. It's just, for me personally, I find this very, very exciting. So great insight. And I just want to mention, because I had asked a question before, specifically from Udialite, and I just wanted to let you know that was one of the questions we have chosen for a Last Remains whitelist. So I have two more questions I'm going to bring up. First, I want to bring that question about free mints versus paid mints over to Coop, but give me a sec, Coop. I just want to let everybody know here, we're going to have two more questions on top of the one from Udialite. That are our chosen best questions that'll get a Last Remains whitelist. So we'll be DMing you guys. Don't worry. We've got all sorts of, we got all the logistics planned, but I just want to let you guys know, congratulations once again to Udialite, aka Logical Witch, and we will be getting a couple more questions up here to talk about. But first, Coop, let me hit you with the same question that I hit Ren with, and that is free mints versus paid mints. You and I have had a lot of talk on this topic, so I want to see where your thoughts are at, and I want you to share them with all the listeners here today.
Yeah, so free mints. I'm losing my voice today. It's been a long one. So with free mints versus paid mints, I think this is a bear. The bear taking over, similar to my voice of just there needs to be a way to engage with our community. And right now we have looked back at our history of Web3 where we're not sure what happened. There's a lot of rug pulls, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of bets that led to these communities that we're just not sure of. So I'll say there's a bit of a sentiment of loss of a little bit of trust, but not all trust. And that's why, it's awesome to have Rekt here and kind of like looking at that as a holistic ecosystem aside from just, what's happening in the real world as well versus just a digital world. And then you got your paid mints, which is, it can be all kinds of stuff. I just got out another Twitter space talking about why do people pay thousands of dollars, for potentially NFTs or a single NFT or millions of dollars, right? And some people might be doing it for status, for access. Some people just freaking love it, and some people just got a lot of money and can do it. And some people actually want to join and be a part of a community. My first paid mint was a $70 mint with non-fungible fungi. So I love magic mushrooms. So I'm just gonna say that out loud. And they build some beautiful ones. It was $70, and I just did it because I wanted to experience what it's like to mint something. I'd never done it before, and then I joined this community. They're super friendly, and I now need to get a Rekt dog because I'm sure that community is popping. And I think back to the question, free versus paid. I think it's an experiment, and for us at Last Remains, we're experimenting with wanting to curate our free mints to people who matter, people who've been here at the beginning, people who are not exactly NFT farming, but people who want to help support the ecosystem early and give them a gateway to essentially participate. And that utility will allow them to play the game early and also be able to compete in the on-chain game as well. So that's a bit, just a bit on a highlight on two. I can go on for hours for that one.
Yeah, I know, because we have. I love that topic. Coop, that's one of the topics I've really enjoyed chatting with you about, because I think you're right. It is an experiment, right? Like I've said many times with Web3 gaming models like tokenomics, we don't have a system yet. We don't have a model that works. So we're all experimenting and innovating, and we want to do it in a way that makes sense, right? And I think one of the best ways that you do this is through getting feedback and insight from your communities. So maybe I'll throw a little bit of a curveball here because I already know a bit more of your perspective on that question. But Tony, when it comes to Rekt Dogs, what was one of the best community or user insights that you guys implemented in the project that has contributed to something that you're actually building or you're applying to Rekt Dogs? So what was the best user insight that you got?
Right. So basically to do PFPs, because NFTs is one of the best onboarding vehicle for Web3. And we are very interested in onboarding the next billion users and getting ourselves ready for that. PFP is a very good starter. It has a lower enter barrier and it's easy for anyone new to understand. And we can make it fun to play around with. So yeah, that's one of the good insights I think in the fundamental aspect of our project.
Nice, nice. That was another one of our questions, by the way, for the Last Remains whitelist, and that came from Victor. So, Victor, very good question. I like that one a lot, and I think that's something myself as a founder and as a leadership figure in a lot of projects that I always consider. A project is nothing without the community, so you need to work with the community to develop what the project's value proposition is. So this is a very, very big thing. Great question, Victor. Once again, we'll be DMing you. You got a Last Remains whitelist, and then I'm going to hit you with another one here, Tony, because we got another really, really good question. And this happens to follow in suit with what I just asked you. Now let's talk about utility, because this is a big thing that's on people's minds. And this comes from Crazy Crypto Man. Great name, by the way. You are pretty crazy if you're in this space. So am I. All of us are. But he asked specifically, what's the utility that Rekt Dogs gives us after minting? So, Tony, what is the major utility, or what is the value proposition of Rekt Dogs after people mint it?
Right. So, as I mentioned in the intro, we are going to have 100 gold coins named Aureas. You can, it's a random drop. You will find out if you got the gold coin Aureas 24 hours after you mint, after the reveal, because we're doing a delay reveal. So in that sense, it's that's one. And second, we're gonna build our own marketplace for trades. People can design their own trades for submission, and once it's approved, they can start selling or trading their own designs. And it's possible that we're gonna do it with a revenue sharing scheme. So yeah, for the trade marketplace, it's quite an exciting part, an important part of our roadmap.
Very, very interesting. I love that feel. Oh man, that's really cool. You got the gotcha hidden into the mint. I like that a lot. That's really interesting, actually. I love it a lot. That is fantastic. Coop, did you have something you wanted to say? I
Yeah.
saw you unmute
Yeah, I
there.
was just thinking now. So I don't know why I was just thinking, the Charlie the Chocolate Factory with the golden ticket while you're talking about that. But no, I love it, and I love how it's community first. How the community actually gets to participate in adding to this ecosystem, to this collection. Like I mean, I ain't gonna say you guys are doing it first. I'm sure, everybody has their derivatives, but it is awesome, and I just love how you guys are community focused. So really loving it.
Yeah, that brings me to a great question. And maybe we can throw this over to Ren, because I'd like to hear a little bit more from your point of view here, especially building it. Is how important is utility in communities, right? We're talking about what's the utility that comes to communities, but especially when it comes to games, like, do you see, Ren, is it important to have that utility, or from your perspective or Crypto Fighter's perspective, is it more important to create that, emotional sentiment, that connection, that entertainment value with the NFTs, since you're doing it in a gaming space? What's your take on that? Utility or entertainment? Which is the higher value in the community?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I will take both, because like both are the element, very important element that we will have to like make a consideration. The first is like, because it's a game, and the games always come with entertainment. If it's the game without entertainment, then it's not a game, right? Like, why do you play for? And also for the utility things, like we all have to like support from the utility, because like we offer the benefit, we offer like what they needs. We doesn't just like create a fun game but no one play, then the game is gonna be dead. And that is like how we see things, and we come up with Crypto Fighter right now, and we're trying to shape it up. We try to groom it, we try to like make it the best, that very adaptable, and we are like community based, that we listen to the community, we listen to their voice. We make development to the way that they say is yes, then we go. uh, so that is quite about it.
Makes sense. No, it makes a lot of sense. I think that's why I wanted to hit you with that one, because I think it is a lot different when it comes to a game. There is a bit of a responsibility, but an opportunity for you to capitalize on entertainment rather than just utility. And I do want to actually bring that question over to Tony after too and ask him. But first things first, I just want to remind anybody who's listening again, if you have not yet, make sure you go to the first pinned tweet up above. It is a tweet that has a link to our Galaxy link. That Galaxy link is going to allow you to claim a POAP for being part of the space. And holding that POAP will make you eligible for the one free Rekt Dog NFT that we are going to be airdropping later on. So if you have not yet and you're listening to the space, make sure you go back up to that pinned tweet, click on it, click on the link, and claim your POAP. You do not want to miss that because that will be closing once the space comes to a close. And then let's jump over to this. So I want to hit you with this as well, Tony. Now that we saw it from Crypto Fighter's point of view as a game, what about when it comes to a PFP project specifically? How important is the utility? When you were talking to the team, was that like one of the major topics? How are we going to add utility? Or is there something else that you think is more important in the community?
Right. I think as PFP builders, we see everything as a pathway to build community, and utilities is no different. We see it as a way to help with engagement. The more fun it is, the more time people will spend playing around with it. So one of our utilities, for example, the Open Trades Marketplace, again, is a way for our holders to have fun. They can design, they can trade, they can decorate on almost any accessory they want. Once the trade design is approved, of course. So to answer the question, we see utility as an assistance in community building. Yeah, that's how we see utility.
Great answer. I like that a lot. I think that is very important. It all really comes down to how does it add value, right? I think utility is a word that people use a lot, but I think it's better to be replaced with the term value. And that is, how do you give value to the community, right? Sometimes that's in the form of, hard utility. Sometimes it's in the form of financial opportunity. Other times it's in the form of just entertainment and inclusion and that feeling of belonging. And I think that that's an important thing. Everybody talks about utility, but what you take as utility could be completely different to somebody else. So really good take on that. I like that. Before we go on, I think we got to throw it to the big man himself. Coop, what about you? How important is utility in a community, especially for Earn Alliance and Last Remains? I want to hear your take on this too.
Yeah, I think utility is the number one question, right? Like, first of all, is utility a security, and where do things sit? And there's so much debate on trying to make sure that we're doing things right for people. So I think trying to not only create something fun, but experimenting with like token gating is something that we've been doing at Earn Alliance. So right now, everything on Earn Alliance is quite confusing because when you go to Earn Alliance, you don't see anything. There's just a badge that you can mint, and then once the badge is gone, there's a countdown to the next time you can go mint a badge because you need to hold a badge in order to unlock the site. So I think token gating is an interesting utility to play with, which we're doing with now. And then there's the next level, which would be more or less like, I would say just like access, aside from token gating, but more around access to like rewards or access to like special tiers and going back to like the different types of I guess what would the word be like? It's kind of like a status within a community, and that's what we'll be experimenting with next. I think utility is important. I think it's a game within a game to play with, and I think like I said earlier, what resonated with me with Rekt is they're going to allow the community to kind of define the attributes, and I think that's really important. Is that the community should help drive what is the utility. I know that we're trying to do like utility around tokens for DAOs, for example, where you can vote and try to change how things work and all these other things. But I actually think it should start with just some organic feedback, just like how we should probably allow communication on our alliance as one of the things that came up today. So, yeah, utility is a game. That's how I kind of look at it, and it could be a game literally.
I love it. Utility is a game. Coop 2023. I'm going to hold on to that one. I'll frame it.
Nice.
So, okay. I think we're getting close. First off, just want to let everybody know, I know we have over 500 listeners still in the space. I really, really appreciate you all hanging around. Love all the questions that we've been getting. And honestly, we've had some fantastic conversations going on. I think I've gotten like an insane amount of free education from the guys up here. So thank you all for just contributing to this. But thank you as well to everybody who's listening, because this would not be possible without all of you. So thank you all for being here. Now, I want to jump into another couple of questions here. I'm really going to wrap it up, but I really want to jump into one question that I think stood out to me that I would like to know more about, because I am a little ignorant on this. And this is another one back at you, Tony, specifically about Magic Eden. So I want to know, how did the decision of launching with Magic Eden come to be? And do you have any tips on like how other people could collaborate with them? Like, what was the process like, and how could somebody, an aspiring PFP project or interactive gaming project, how could they go about collaborating with Magic Eden?
And Earn Alliance.
And Earn Alliance, of course, but we're just going to be part of the package.
Right. For us, it was actually quite a smooth sail. We were actually looking for a home for our project, and the Polygon team approached us. And in the process, ME got involved, and then everybody just started working together. Yeah, they were very welcoming and professional. It has been a very good experience so far. And regarding to the tips, I think they are very accommodating. I wouldn't suggest any other way than to, directly contact them, show them your project, tell them your thoughts, your plans for the future, and have them give you feedback and go from there.
I love it. Simple, seamless, the way that we want to be onboarding people into Web3. And that is a perfect lever into the next question, because I do kind of want to end this off a little bit more with a question that I think is extremely important, and it's been on people's minds for years, since I started in Web3. And I've been here for a little while. I don't mean to boomer myself here, but Coop, this one is specifically for you, and I really wanted to ask this one at the end here for you. Earn Alliance. We had a question here from JDW that said, how is Earn Alliance going to encourage native Web2 gamers to try out Web3 gaming? Will there be tournaments, conferences, initiatives by Earn Alliance to help get exposure to Web3 gaming? So I want to know, sir, how is Earn Alliance going to be encouraging or helping to bridge the gap between Web2 gaming and Web3 gaming?
Great question. I don't know if you've been in the meetings lately, because it actually lines up with like the last 48 hours of discussions here at the company. But it's going to start off with the invisible wallet, non escrow wallets is, fading over here, but non-escrow wallets is something that I just learned about, I would say 6 months ago. I had to like dive into the technology and learn about Magic Link and like what they're doing. And it's very fascinating how wallets could be created for somebody via email without actually having any private keys with Magic Link or the person you're trying to sign up with, like Earn Alliance. So I would say that we are talking to some awesome partners. I would say that those partners, could be everything from Magic Eden to Super Cool. If you guys haven't seen Super Cool.xyz, they're really awesome. Magic Link, Fractal. So there's a lot of great places that you can kind of look at these non-custodial wallets. And I think they're going to be the beginning of being able to help people transparently mint badges, because we were debating, and I'm just going to go into detail here because I think it's kind of cool, or maybe I'm just biased, but we're debating, like, should we always allow new users to mint badges and have to find out, how do I get my gas? How do I put on my Matic, or how do I get my, totally fading here, but my, like wallet. How do I actually create a new wallet with MetaMask, for example? And how do I get that all set up? And then finally, after you get that all set up and you go in that world and you don't get hacked, then you can make their badge, right? And then the other world is just put in your email and put in your credit card, or the project could pay for the gas for you on Polygon since it's so cheap, and mint it for them. Because we were debating, should we do a digital centralized collection where you can mint the badge off chain and eventually port it on chain? Would that be the path? Or do we just really want full transparency? The full collection value and numbers and everything is on chain. Everybody can see what is available, what is minted. And underneath the hood, the user actually didn't know they have something on chain. And we're leaning in for the latter. So we're going to pick a partner in the next few weeks, and it's going to make it easy to be able to click and check out with a credit card to pay for the gas, or we'll also pay for the gas in some of them to get these mints. And I think that's going to help Web2 users get in, and they'll be able to do it with their email. They won't need MetaMask or anything.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I think that that's exactly why I wanted to finish off with that question, because that is what's on everybody's minds. You know, how are the leaders of the space looking at solving some of the biggest onboarding questions that are in people's minds? And I think one of them, we've heard it a lot. We've heard it from big Web3 gaming KOLs. I know this is a big topic on Bryson's thread or on Bryson's Twitter for a while. And it's the idea of gamers, people who are Web2 native, don't want to come in and go through that huge clunky process of getting their wallet, getting everything set up, bridging in funds, etc. So I think that this is a very, very big thing that we are addressing. And Coop, I can't wait to see more and actually see it be implemented, because I know you got some crazy things working in the background here. So that all being said, I do just also want to mention once more, there's a couple other things I want to mention to all the listeners here. First off, we're going to be closing the space, so I don't even know if it is still available, but make sure if you haven't yet, go click on that pinned tweet, hit that Galaxy link, and make sure that you claim your POAP. Once again, that POAP is going to give you access to a free, or eligible at least, to a potential free Rekt Dogs drop afterwards. So make sure, just don't miss that. You've been here listening into the space. I know we've been adding a lot of value with info, but don't miss your chance to go and pick up that POAP and be eligible for that giveaway. And then I also want to mention, we have a Crew 3 campaign going on with Earn Alliance right now. So maybe, you know, I'll allow you guys to jump a little bit over. I think we actually have a tweet up above, so you guys will be able to click on it. I believe it's the 4th one up there, but don't count me on that one. I just know that you'll see the words, join the Crew 3 club. Make sure that you guys go and check that one out with Earn Alliance too, because that is a big one. There's prizes, activities, there's even a grand prize, which is a Steam Deck. And I know there's nobody out there that doesn't use Steam. Like, come on, we're all playing games on Steam. I literally was just loading up Steam yesterday to play the Monster Hunter Worlds with a couple of friends of mine. Get yourselves eligible in there and make sure that you guys are able to qualify for that and even just be part of it. The Crew 3, trust me, this is just the beginning. There's going to be lots and lots of value coming. But yeah, I think that's really how we're going to wrap this up. This was a space we wanted to do in partnership with Rekt Dogs, so I do just want to give you a chance, Tony. If you have anything you want to mention, any last notes, you know, just jump in here and let us know. When's the mint happening? Just again, I'll let you wrap this up, because I feel like this was a space we wanted to do because of our partnership with you. So I'll give you the closing words here. You can talk a little bit about the mint tomorrow. Maybe just leave us with a nice little one-liner about Rekt Dogs, and then we'll wrap things up.
Right, yeah. So if you guys, we have updated our artworks recently, and they're all new. Our website is up. It's rektdogs.com. You guys are welcome to check that out before the mint. And yeah, we're launching tomorrow on Polygon with Magic Eden, 2:45 p.m. UTC. Join us. And thank you, Guru. It was nice meeting you, Crypto, Coop. Thanks, everybody.
Of course, it's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Rekt.
All right, everybody. Well, I'm happy that nobody got rugged, and for everybody listening here, sorry, Johnny got rugged. Johnny, I apologize. We definitely had one person get rugged.
We did not forget you.
We didn't. You were not forgotten. If anything, Coop, I'm going to hold you up to that. We're going to get a thread going, me, you, and Johnny. We're going to have to chat about some stuff, because there's a lot of things I wanted to ask him here, so we'll chat more. But we're going to wrap it up with that. Everybody who was listening, thank you. This space couldn't happen without you. Everybody who's up on stage, Coop, we got Rekt, we got Tony from Rekt, we got Rem from Crypto Fighters. Absolutely love chatting with you all. Thanks for jumping up on stage. And no matter where you are in the day, whether it's GM or GN, thank you to everybody listening. We will see you all next time.
Have a good night, y'all. Have a good morning. Have a good day.